What is up, FP leaders? Hope you're doing well. I am actually downtown. Just walked out of Vienna Coffee Shop to record this. Been working on a message today. I want to get you guys a video real fast. We're talking about honor and David and Saul, and kind of the story of when Saul's trying to kill David and find him, and David's hiding in this cave, and Saul comes in and goes to the bathroom, and David cuts off a piece of his coat, and then comes out and says, man, I could have killed you today. Why are you trying to kill me? And there's such this high honor that David has for Saul, even when he's trying to kill him. That it says that he was hurt in his soul that he did what he did to Saul, which is just cutting off this part of his cloak. He didn't even kill them, which he could have. And so we're kind of talking about what being a person of honor looks like. And in honor, I think that we have to surrender a couple of things. I think we have to surrender to God's timing. I think that David had an incredible opportunity to take things into his own hands, and so he could have killed Saul and immediately finished him. He'd already been anointed as king, and he could have just done his own thing and taken it into his own hands, become king, taken over the kingship, gotten rid of Saul, wouldn't have to worry about his life anymore because the person that's trying to kill him is now dead. But instead, David allows himself to kind of pull back and say, wait, this isn't my place. And it's almost like he's surrendering the promise that God gave to him, that, hey, you're going to be king, to make sure that God knows that he wants him more. So I think, and this is a statement that I'll make on Wednesday night, I think that sometimes God asks us to put our promise from him down to make sure that we want him more than the promise that he's given us, which is a big thought. I mean, we see that kind of played out in the story where the man is told to bring his son up onto the altar, and this is his only son, and then he has to sacrifice him. He's not sure how God's going to make this great nation out of him, but he's supposed to kill his son, and so God tells him to bring his son up and put him on the altar. And so he takes his son there and he lays him on the altar, and in the midst of everything that's going on, he says, Lord, you are in control, and I know that you can do what you say you're going to do, and so I'll put my son, my dream, on the altar because I want you more than I want this dream. And I think to be a people that are honoring to God and honoring to other people, we have to just surrender that we're not in control, and that ultimately it's not about us. I think that people that struggle with honor believe that life is about them and that the world revolves around them. And if I'm honest, that's something that kind of I battle with. So the first thing would be to surrender to God's timing. The second thing I think is to surrender to status. David walks out of the cave and prostrates himself. Says he lays down on the ground, puts his nose in the dirt, and says, Saul, my king. And now at this point, David had been anointed as king, and he could have just as easily said, hey, listen, I'm a king too. And so God said, I'm a king. You're the old king. You're sinning. You're in the wrong. I think that I have more status than you. But David surrenders status and says, hey, listen, I'm nothing. You're the king. You're the one that God picked, and I surrender to you. And David kind of surrenders his status there. And we see Jesus do the same thing. In Philippians, we see that Jesus doesn't count being equal with God as something to be attained, but instead he lowers himself to be a servant and even to die on the cross. And because of that, God honors him and elevates him above all. And so we kind of see Jesus not only teaches us how to honor those that are above us and honor and surrender status, but he also kind of teaches us how to get honor. So to be honored, you have to put yourself in the lowest place, which is so backwards to what society says. And then the last thing is to surrender to authority. Ultimately, God has placed the people that are in authority in that place, and even if we think they don't deserve it or they're doing a terrible job or we could do it better, when we disagree with God, it's like us saying that God has made a mistake. So to surrender those three things, I think we become people of honor, and so that's what we'll talk about on Wednesday. Hopefully that's helpful to you. You should have the group guide by now. So, yep, I'm excited for Wednesday, and we will see you later. All right, bye.